Alex Turner stepped off the transport ship and looked around at the green forest moon of Verdania. The air smelled fresh and clean, nothing like the recycled atmosphere he was used to on space stations. His boots crunched on fallen leaves as he walked toward Research Outpost Gamma 7. The building looked small compared to the massive trees surrounding it, but Alex knew it housed some of the galaxy's best scientists. He carried his toolkit and a small bag of personal items. This was supposed to be an easy job. Fix the fusion generator, collect his payment, and move on to the next assignment. Alex had been repairing machines across the galaxy for 5 years now. He was good at it, and he liked the simple nature of mechanical problems. Unlike people, machines were predictable. The outpost's main door slid open as he approached. A tall woman with scaled green skin and yellow eyes stood waiting for him. She wore a military uniform with commander's insignia. Her species was reptilian, one of the many alien races that had joined the galactic community decades ago. "You must be the engineer," she said in a deep voice. "I am Commander Zara Vex. Welcome to Outpost Gamma 7. Alex nodded and shook her clawed hand carefully. "Alex Turner, I'm here about your generator problem." "Good. We need it fixed quickly. Our research season begins in 2 weeks, and we cannot afford delays." Zara's tone was all business. "Dr. Maya Singh will show you to your quarters, then take you to the generator room." A shorter human woman appeared from behind Zara. She had dark skin and bright eyes that seemed excited about everything. "Hi, Alex. I'm Maya. I study the plants and animals here on Verdania. It's amazing what we've discovered. Did you know some of the trees here can live for thousands of years?" Alex smiled. Maya's enthusiasm was infectious. "That's impressive. How long have you been studying here?" 6 months now, and I still find something new every day. Come on, let me show you around." Maya led him through the outpost's corridors. The walls were lined with windows that showed the forest outside. Sunlight filtered through the leaves, creating patterns of light and shadow that moved with the breeze. Alex had to admit it was beautiful. "How many people work here?" Alex asked as they walked. 7 of us total. There's Commander Zara, me, our elven engineer Lyra, and 4 other researchers from different species. It's a small team, but we work well together." They passed a laboratory where Alex saw strange equipment he didn't recognize. Through another window, he spotted someone with pointed ears and long silver hair working on what looked like a computer terminal. The elf had pale skin and moved with a grace that seemed almost magical. "That's Lyra," Maya said, noticing his interest. "She's brilliant with technology, but she thinks humans are too crude in their methods. Don't take it personally if she seems cold at first." They reached a small room with a bed, desk, and window. "This is yours for the next 2 weeks, Maya said. "The generator room is just down the hall. Want to see it now, or would you prefer to rest first?" "Let's look at the generator. I'm curious about the problem." The generator room was larger than Alex expected. The fusion reactor sat in the center, surrounded by control panels and monitoring equipment. Everything looked clean and well-maintained, but Alex could hear an odd humming sound that shouldn't be there. "What exactly has been happening?" he asked Maya. "Power fluctuations every few hours. Sometimes the whole outpost loses electricity for a few minutes. Lyra has been trying to fix it for weeks, but nothing works." Alex opened his toolkit and pulled out a scanner. He began checking the reactor's systems, looking for obvious problems. The readings seemed normal at first, but then he noticed something strange. There were data pathways in the system that weren't on any of the technical manuals. "This is odd," he said, more to himself than to Maya. "What did you find?" "Extra circuits that shouldn't be here. It's like someone added secret pathways to the system." Alex continued scanning. "These aren't causing your power problems, though. Let me check the main power coupling." He opened a panel and immediately saw the issue. A connection had worked, loose over time, causing the fluctuations. It was a simple fix that would take maybe an hour. "Found it," Alex said. "Just a loose connection. I can fix this easily." As he worked, Alex kept thinking about those extra circuits. Why would someone hide data pathways in a generator control system? It made no sense for a research outpost. He decided to mention it to Maya. "Those strange circuits I found. Do you know anything about that?" Maya's expression changed. She looked nervous. I don't know anything about generator circuits. That's more Lyra's area. Alex finished the repair and tested the system. The humming sound disappeared, and all readings showed normal operation. That should solve your power problems. Thank you. That was faster than we expected. Lyra will be impressed, though she might not say so. They left the generator room together, but Alex's mind kept returning to those hidden circuits. He had seen similar setups before, usually in systems that needed to store or transmit secret information. What kind of secrets would a research outpost need to keep? That evening, the team gathered for dinner in the outpost's common area. Alex met the other researchers, including Kethara, an insectoid scientist with multiple arms who spoke in clicking, sounds that the universal translator converted to words. Everyone seemed friendly enough, though Lyra remained distant. I heard you fixed our generator problem quickly, Lyra said when Maya introduced them. Her voice was musical but cold. Most humans prefer brute force solutions. Sometimes the simple approach works best, Alex replied. He decided not to mention the hidden circuits yet. Something told him to be careful about who he trusted. After dinner, Alex returned to his room and pulled out his personal scanner. If there were hidden systems in the generator, there might be others throughout the outpost. He spent the next hour doing subtle scans of his room and the nearby corridors. What he found made him forget all about sleep. There were encrypted data streams running through the outpost's entire computer network. Someone was definitely hiding something, and Alex Turner was starting to think his simple repair job was about to become much more complicated. Alex spent most of the night trying to decrypt the hidden data streams he had found. His room's computer wasn't powerful enough for the job, but he managed to capture several encrypted packets. Whatever was hidden in the outpost's systems was big, and someone had gone to great lengths to keep it secret. The next morning, Alex decided to approach Commander Zara directly. He found her in the command center, reviewing reports on multiple screens. The room hummed with the sound of computers and communication equipment. Commander, I need to discuss something with you, Alex said, trying to keep his voice casual. Zara looked up from her screens. Is there a problem with the generator? No, the generator is fine, but while I was working on it, I found some unusual data pathways, hidden circuits that aren't in any technical manual. Alex watched Zara's expression carefully. I was wondering if you knew anything about them. Zara's yellow eyes narrowed slightly. Mr. Turner, you were hired to repair our generator, nothing more. I suggest you focus on that task and avoid areas that don't concern you. But these circuits could affect other systems. If there's additional equipment running through the generator controls, it might cause future problems. There will be no future problems, Zara said firmly. Complete your work and prepare for departure. Your transport will arrive in 3 days. Alex left the command center feeling more suspicious than before. Zara's reaction confirmed that the hidden systems were important and secret. But why would a research outpost need such elaborate security measures? He spent the morning wandering the outpost, using his scanner discreetly to map the hidden network. The encrypted data streams seemed to center on the lower levels of the building, areas he hadn't been shown during his tour. Around midday, Alex found Lyra working alone in the engineering section. She was bent over a complicated piece of equipment, her silver hair falling like a curtain around her face. Despite her cold attitude, Alex decided to take a chance. Lyra, can I ask you something? She looked up, her green eyes showing mild annoyance. What do you want, human? I found some hidden circuits in the generator system yesterday. Data pathways that shouldn't exist. Do you know anything about them? Lyra's expression changed. The annoyance disappeared, replaced by curiosity. Show me. Alex pulled out his scanner and displayed the data he had captured. Lyra studied the information for several minutes, her pointed ears twitching slightly as she concentrated. This is fascinating, she said finally. These pathways are using ancient elven encryption methods, very old ones that most people have forgotten. Can you decrypt them? Perhaps. But why are you showing me this? Commander Zara would not approve. Alex decided to be honest. Because I think there's something important hidden here, and I don't think Zara wants me to find it. I could use help from someone who understands the technology. Lyra was quiet for a long moment. Humans are usually too impatient for proper investigation, but this encryption is elegant. It would be a shame not to solve the puzzle. They spent the afternoon working together. Lyra's knowledge of ancient Elven code combined with Alex's understanding of modern systems proved effective. Slowly, they began to decrypt portions of the hidden data. What they found was shocking. The Outpost wasn't just studying the forest ecosystem of Verdania. There was another project, classified at the highest levels. Deep beneath the moon's surface was a structure of unknown origin. The encrypted files contained scan data, energy, readings, and analysis reports about something ancient buried in the ground. "This structure," Lyra said, pointing to a three-dimensional image on her screen. "It's massive, at least 5 kilometers across and 2 kilometers deep." Alex studied the scan data. "These energy readings don't match any technology I know. What kind of civilization could build something like this?" According to these files, the structure predates known galactic history by millions of years. Whoever built it was far more advanced than any current species. They were interrupted by Maya entering the engineering section. She stopped when she saw them working together over the computer screen. "Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt," Maya said, but her eyes were fixed on the display. "Maya," Alex said carefully, "did you know about this underground structure?" Maya's face went pale. She looked around nervously, then stepped closer and lowered her voice. "How did you find out about that?" "You knew?" Lyra asked. "I've known for months. It's why I'm really here. My biological research is just a cover story. The structure has been giving off strange energy signatures that affect the local ecosystem. Plants grow differently near it. Animals avoid certain areas. I've been studying the biological effects." Alex felt pieces of a puzzle clicking together. "So this whole outpost is really about studying this ancient structure." "Not just studying it," Maya said. 3 months ago, the energy readings changed. The structure seems to be waking up somehow. That's when the power problems with the generator started." Lyra's eyes widened. "The generator fluctuations began when the structure's energy output increased. There must be some kind of interference. Commander Zara brought in specialists from different species to study the problem." Maya continued. "Cathara is here because her people have legends about ancient builders. The other researchers are experts in archaeology and xenotechnology. And me?" Alex asked. "Why did they need a human engineer?" "Because human technology is different. Cruder, maybe, but it works in ways that don't follow standard galactic engineering principles. Zara thought you might be able to interface with systems that were confusing everyone else." Alex felt a chill run down his spine. "So my repair job was never about the generator. It was about getting me here to work on alien technology." Over the next few hours, they continued decrypting files. The picture that emerged was troubling. The structure beneath Verdania wasn't just ancient, it was actively scanning the surface. The energy bursts were getting stronger and more frequent. Some researchers believed it was preparing to activate fully, though no one knew what that meant. The files also revealed something else. Similar structures had been found on 3 other worlds, and all had been evacuated after dangerous incidents. On one world, the structure had emitted some kind of energy pulse that affected the minds of nearby people. On another, it had created gravitational anomalies that nearly tore apart a space station. "We need to see this structure ourselves," Alex said. "That's not possible," Maya replied. "The entrance is heavily guarded and Commander Zara has restricted access." "Then we'll have to find another way in," Lyra said. "These files mention several access points. If we're careful, we might be able to reach one without being detected." Alex looked at his 2 companions, a human biologist, an elven engineer, and himself, a simple mechanic from Earth. It wasn't exactly a team of experts, but they might be the only people on the outpost willing to discover the truth. "When do we go?" he asked. "Tonight," Lyra said, "during the shift change when security is lightest." As evening approached, Alex prepared his equipment and tried to calm his nerves. He had come to Verdania expecting to fix a generator and leave. Instead, he was about to explore an ancient alien structure that might be dangerous enough to threaten the entire star system. But he had to know the truth. Something told him that whatever was buried beneath this peaceful forest moon was about to change everything. Alex checked his equipment one final time as darkness fell over Verdania. His toolkit contained scanners, cutting tools, and portable lights. Lyra had added some of her own devices, including something she called a harmonic resonator that could Detect energy patterns. Maya carried biological sampling equipment and a medical kit. They met at the outpost's rear exit just after midnight. The forest was quiet except for the sound of wind through the massive trees. Alex had studied the maps. From the encrypted files, and the nearest access point to the underground structure was about 2 kilometers north of the outpost. "Stay close and keep quiet," Lyra whispered. "The forest has its own sounds, but security drones patrol this area." They moved through the trees using Lyra's knowledge of elven stealth techniques. Her people had been forest dwellers for thousands of years, and she knew how to move without disturbing the natural environment. Alex tried to follow her example, though his human movement seemed clumsy by comparison. After an hour of careful walking, they reached a small clearing where the ground looked different. Instead of the rich brown soil found elsewhere in the forest, here the earth was a strange metallic gray color. Nothing grew in this area, and the silence was complete. "This is it," Maya said, checking her scanner. "The energy readings are much stronger here." Lyra used her harmonic resonator to search for the entrance mentioned in the files. After several minutes, she found what they were looking for. A section of the metallic ground showed different energy patterns. "There's a door here, but it's sealed," she said. "The mechanism is incredibly old." Alex examined the area with his own tools. He found traces of an opening mechanism, but it was unlike anything in his experience. The technology seemed to respond to sound and vibration rather than electronic signals. "Let me try something," Lyra said. She began making soft musical tones, adjusting the pitch and rhythm based on readings from her resonator. After several attempts, there was a deep rumbling sound from beneath their feet. A circular section of the ground slowly rose, revealing a ramp that led down into darkness. Cool air flowed up from below, carrying a strange metallic scent. "I can't believe that worked," Alex said. "Ancient elven texts speak of the first builders who used harmony and resonance in their technology," Lyra replied. "I thought it was just legend." They descended the ramp, using portable lights to see. The walls were made of the same metallic gray material as the surface, but they seemed to shimmer slightly in the light. After about 50 meters, the ramp opened into a vast, underground chamber. Alex stopped and stared. The chamber was enormous, easily the size of a football field, and at least 100 meters high. The walls were covered with strange symbols that seemed to glow faintly. In the center of the chamber stood a massive cylindrical structure that hummed with energy. "My scanner is going crazy," Maya said. "The energy levels here are off the charts." They approached the central structure carefully. It was covered with the same glowing symbols as the walls, and Alex could feel a slight vibration in the air around it. As they got closer, panels in the structure began to light up. "It's responding to our presence," Lyra observed. "The technology is still active after all these years." Alex found what looked like a control interface near the base of the structure. The symbols were different from anything he had seen, but there was something familiar about the layout. It reminded him of the hidden circuits he had found in the generator. "Lyra, can you read any of these symbols?" She studied the glowing text carefully. "Some of them are similar to the oldest elven writing, but much more advanced. This one seems to mean knowledge or memory. This other one might be guardian or protector." Maya was examining other parts of the chamber with her biological equipment. "There's no organic life down here, but the air is perfectly breathable. The environment controls are still working after millions of years. As they explored, more sections of the structure activated. Holographic displays appeared in the air, showing star maps and what looked like technical diagrams. The images changed. Too quickly for them to understand, but Alex got the impression of vast knowledge being shared. "This place is some kind of library or archive," Alex said. "Look at all this information." "Not just information," Lyra said, pointing to another section that had activated. "These look like manufacturing designs, plans for ships, tools, weapons. The builders left behind their entire technological knowledge. They were so focused on the amazing discovery that they didn't hear footsteps on the ramp behind them. Only when Commander Zara's voice echoed through the chamber did they realize. They weren't alone. "I thought I might find you here," Zara said as she entered the chamber with Cathara close behind her. Alex turned to face them, his heart racing. "Commander, we can explain." "No explanation necessary," Zara replied. "I've been expecting this. Dr. Singh informed me about your investigation this afternoon. Alex looked at Maya in shock. You told her? I had to, Maya said apologetically. This discovery is too important to keep secret. The whole galaxy needs to know about this place. Cathara moved forward, her multiple arms clicking excitedly. My people have searched for this place for generations. We are descendants of the original builders, though our civilization fell long ago. This archive contains the knowledge we lost. Your people built this? Lyra asked. Not my people exactly, but our ancestors. The builders created many archives like this one throughout the galaxy before they disappeared. Most were destroyed or lost over time. This is one of the few that remain intact. Commander Zara approached the central structure. We've been studying this place for 6 months. The energy fluctuations started when our scanning equipment activated some of the deeper systems. That's why we needed an engineer who thinks differently. You mean Alex? Maya said. Human engineering approaches problems from angles that other species don't consider. The builders designed their technology to be operated by minds that think in unexpected ways. Alex's repairs to the generator actually synchronized it with the archive's power systems. Alex felt manipulated and impressed at the same time. So everything was planned. My job, the power problems, even finding the hidden data. Not planned exactly, Zara said. But we hoped you would be curious enough to investigate. The archive has been trying to communicate with us, but we couldn't understand its signals. Your presence seems to have activated communication protocols. As if responding to their conversation, the central structure began projecting new holographic displays. These images moved more slowly and showed what looked like a star map with highlighted systems. It's showing us something, Lyra said. These locations, they must be other archives. Cathara's translator buzzed with excitement. Yes, the network is activating. All the surviving archives are coming online. The builders designed them to work together when the galaxy was ready. Ready for what? Alex asked. The answer came in the form of new holographic displays. They showed images of different species working together, sharing knowledge and resources. Then the images changed to show great ships traveling between stars, carrying mixed crews of humans, elves, aliens, and other beings Alex didn't recognize. The builders weren't just one species, Maya realized. They were a confederation of different peoples working together. Like us, Alex said, looking around at their small group. The archive seemed to understand their conversation. The holographic displays shifted to show the 5 of them standing in the chamber, then expanded to show other teams exploring other archives on distant worlds. The message was clear. The time for hidden knowledge had ended. The galaxy was ready for cooperation on a scale not seen since the Builders' time. But as the systems continued to activate, warning lights began flashing throughout the chamber. An alarm sound echoed off the walls, and the central structure's energy output increased dramatically. Something's wrong, Alex said, checking his scanner. The power levels are climbing too fast. Cathara's clicking sounds became frantic. The archive is trying to establish connection with other sites, but the power requirements are enormous. If we can't control it, the feedback could destroy the entire system. Alex looked at the alien control interface, trying to understand how to operate technology that was millions of years old. The fate of an irreplaceable treasure trove of knowledge might depend on his ability to think like an ancient alien engineer. The alarm sounds grew louder as energy readings throughout the chamber climbed into dangerous levels. Alex could feel the vibration in the floor increasing, and the holographic displays were flickering wildly. Whatever the archive was trying to do, it was pushing its ancient systems beyond safe limits. The power coupling to the surface is overloading, Alex shouted over the noise. If this continues, it'll damage the Outpost generator and leave us trapped down here. Cathara moved to another control panel, her multiple arms working frantically. The archive is trying to establish quantum communication links with 17 other sites simultaneously. The power requirements are massive. Can we shut it down? Commander Zara asked. Not without losing everything, Cathara replied. My ancestors programmed these systems to prevent partial shutdowns. Once the awakening sequence starts, it must complete, or the entire archive will permanently lock itself. Lyra was studying the energy flow patterns on her harmonic resonator. The problem isn't just power consumption. The archive is generating Some kind of subspace field that's affecting the moon's gravitational structure. If it gets much stronger, it could tear the surface apart. Alex examined the central control interface more carefully. The symbols were becoming clearer as the systems activated, almost as if the archive was teaching him to read them. He began to understand that the builders had designed their technology to adapt to different types of minds. I think I can redirect some of the power flow, Alex said. But I need to understand what the archive is actually trying to accomplish. Maya pointed to one of the holographic displays. It's showing connection attempts to other worlds. Look, 3 links have been established successfully, but 14 others are failing. Those failed connections are creating feedback loops, Alex realized. The archive keeps increasing power trying to reach systems that might not exist anymore. He began working with the controls, trying to apply human engineering logic to alien technology. The interface responded to his touch, and he found he could isolate the failing connection attempts. As each failed link was disconnected, the power levels dropped slightly. "It's working," Lyra said. "But you're only treating the symptoms. The real problem is that the archive's communication protocols are designed for technology that doesn't exist anymore." Cathara's clicking sounds took on a worried tone. "She's right. The builders designed this system when the galaxy had unified communication networks. Most of that infrastructure was destroyed when their civilization fell." Alex paused his work to think. As an engineer, he had learned that sometimes the best solution wasn't to fix broken systems, but to build new ones that worked with existing conditions. Maybe the archive didn't need to connect the old way. "What if we gave it a different kind of network to connect to?" Alex asked. "What do you mean?" Zara said. "The Outpost has communication equipment that can reach anywhere in the galaxy. Instead of trying to establish direct quantum links to other archives, maybe we can route the connections through existing galactic networks." Lyra's eyes widened with understanding. "Use our technology as a bridge between their ancient systems and modern communication networks." "But would that work?" Maya asked. "The archive's data transmission methods are probably completely different from ours." Alex was already working on the problem. He connected his scanner to the archive's control system and began analyzing the Jota data patterns. To his surprise, the underlying mathematics were similar to modern quantum communication protocols. "The principles are the same," he said excitedly. "Their technology is more advanced, but it's based on the same physics we use. I think I can build a translation interface." Working quickly, Alex began programming a bridge between the archive's systems and his own equipment. Lyra helped by identifying which ancient symbols corresponded to communication functions. Maya monitored the biological effects of the energy fields to make sure they weren't creating dangerous radiation. As Alex worked, more of the archive's systems came online. The holographic displays showed images from the builders' time, great cities where multiple species lived and worked together, ships that traveled between galaxies, technologies that could reshape worlds and create new forms of life. They achieved everything we dream of, Maya said in wonder. Perfect cooperation between different species, unlimited energy, the ability to explore the entire universe. Then why did they disappear? Zara asked. Cathara provided the answer. According to our oldest legends, they didn't disappear. They evolved beyond physical existence. The archives were left behind as gifts for younger civilizations who might follow the same path. Alex completed his translation interface and carefully connected it to the archive's communication systems. For a moment, nothing happened. Then suddenly, the chaotic energy flows stabilized and the alarm sounds stopped. "Connection established," Alex said, reading the symbols on the control panel. "The archive is now linked to the Galactic Communication Network." The holographic displays changed to show real-time images from other worlds. They could see teams of researchers at archive sites throughout the galaxy, all working to understand the Builder's legacy. Humans, elves, various alien species, all cooperating to unlock ancient knowledge. "It's beautiful," Maya said. "The Builder's dream is happening again." But their celebration was interrupted by new warning signals from Alex's scanner. "We have a bigger problem," he said. "The energy field from the archive is growing stronger, and it's not just affecting this moon anymore. It's creating space-time distortions that could damage nearby systems." The holographic displays confirmed his readings. The archive's awakening was having effects throughout the star system. Ships in orbit around Verdania were reporting navigation problems, and the gravitational fields of nearby planets were shifting slightly. The archive wasn't designed to operate alone, Cathara explained. When all the sites work together, they balance each other's energy fields. But with only a few archives active, the remaining ones are overcompensating. Alex studied the data, flowing through his translation interface. He could see the archive's attempts to balance its energy output with the other active sites, but the calculations were incredibly complex. The system needed more processing power than any single archive could provide. "What if we use the Outpost's computers to help with the calculations?" he suggested. "Our computers aren't powerful enough," Zara said. "Not individually, but what if we networked them with computers at other research stations throughout the galaxy? Use the same communication links the archive is establishing," Lyra caught on immediately. "Create a distributed computing network using both ancient and modern technology." "It might work," Maya said. "Research stations across the galaxy could contribute processing power to help stabilize the archive network." Alex began implementing the plan, connecting the Outpost's computers to both the archive's systems and the galactic communication network. Slowly, other research stations began joining the network, adding their processing power to help solve the builder's complex equations. As more computing resources came online, the energy distortions around Verdania began to stabilize. The archive's systems found the balance they needed, and the dangerous gravitational effects started to fade. "Incredible," Zara said, watching the data displays. "Ancient alien technology and modern galactic cooperation working together." But Alex noticed something troubling in the deepest levels of the archive's programming. Hidden beneath the communication and knowledge-sharing systems was another layer of code, something the builders had included as a last resort, something they hoped would never be needed. "There's more here," Alex said. "Something the archive hasn't activated yet. A defense system of some kind." Cathara's translation device clicked urgently. "Defense against what?" Before anyone could answer, new alarms began sounding throughout the chamber. But these weren't warnings about power overloads or system failures. These alarms were different, more urgent. The archive was detecting something approaching from deep space, something that the builders had feared enough to create. Weapons capable of defending an entire galaxy. The new alarms filled the chamber with urgent warning sounds that Alex had never heard before. The holographic displays shifted to show images from the edge of the star system, where something was approaching from the dark space between stars. "What is that?" Maya asked, staring at the display. The images showed a massive object, dark and irregular in shape, moving toward Verdania at incredible speed. It was easily the size of a moon, but it didn't reflect light like normal matter. Instead, it seemed to absorb everything around it. "According to the archive's records, it's a devourer," Cathara said, her clicking sounds filled with fear. "The builder's greatest enemy. We thought they were all destroyed millions of years ago." Alex watched the displays as the archive's systems automatically began preparing defensive measures. Weapons systems that had been dormant for eons started coming online throughout the galaxy. Every active archive site was contributing to a coordinated defense network. The builders created the archives as more than just libraries, Lyra realized. They're also fortresses, designed to protect younger civilizations from these devourer things. "But why is it coming here now?" Zara asked. The answer came from Alex's translation interface. As he worked to understand the archive's defensive protocols, he discovered the truth. The Devourers weren't alien invaders. They were the builders. Themselves, or what the builders had become. "The legends were wrong," Alex said quietly. "The builders didn't evolve beyond physical existence peacefully. Some of them became something else, something that consumes other civilizations to grow stronger." The holographic displays confirmed his discovery, showing the history the builders had hidden in their deepest records. Their civilization had split into two factions. One group had created the archives and hidden them throughout the galaxy, then voluntarily ended their physical existence to prevent themselves from becoming devourers. The other group had chosen a different path, transforming themselves into beings that fed on the life force and knowledge of other species. "So the archives are both a gift and a defense system," Maya said. "The good builders left knowledge to help us grow, and weapons to protect us from the bad builders." "But we're not ready," Cathara said. "The archive network is only partially active. Most of our civilizations are too young and divided to operate weapons of this scale." Alex studied. The defensive systems the archive was trying to activate. The technology was incredibly advanced, but it required something the builders had taken for granted: perfect cooperation between multiple species with completely different ways of thinking. That's why they left the archives inactive until now, Alex realized. They were waiting for the galaxy to develop civilizations that could work together despite their differences. Like us, Lyra said, looking around at their diverse group. Exactly like us, but on a much larger scale. The approaching devourer was still hours away, but the archive's systems were demanding immediate activation of the defense network. Alex could see the problem. The weapons required simultaneous operation by representatives of at least 12 different types of consciousness. Humans, elves, and various alien species would need to work together in perfect harmony. The archive is sending activation codes to research stations throughout the galaxy, Zara reported. Teams like ours are being asked to take control of local defense systems. But most of those teams don't have the cooperation we've developed, Maya pointed out. We've been working together for days to understand this technology. Alex had an idea. What if we use the same communication network we created for the computing problem? Link all the teams together so they can share their understanding in real time. He began modifying his translation interface to create a shared consciousness network. Not true telepathy, but a system that would let each team contribute their unique perspectives to the others. Human creativity, elven wisdom, alien logic patterns, all flowing together to operate technology designed for that exact kind of cooperation. As the network came online, Alex could feel the thoughts and insights of researchers throughout the galaxy flowing through the archive's systems. It was overwhelming at first, but gradually he learned to focus on the parts relevant to the defensive weapons. The system worked. Teams that had been struggling to understand their local archive systems suddenly found solutions as they shared knowledge with teams from other worlds. Human engineers provided practical solutions to problems that had puzzled alien scientists for hours. Elven historians contributed knowledge of ancient technologies that helped unlock advanced systems. The defense grid is coming online, Lyra reported. Weapons platforms throughout the galaxy are synchronizing their targeting systems. But as the weapons charged, Alex noticed something troubling in the shared consciousness network. Some of the teams were experiencing fear and anger toward the approaching devourer. Those emotions were affecting the weapons targeting systems, making them more destructive than necessary. Wait, Alex said. The weapons are designed to defend, not destroy. If we attack with hatred and fear, we become like the devourers ourselves. He shared this insight through the network, and gradually the other teams began to understand. The builders' weapons weren't just advanced technology. They were tools that responded to the intentions and emotions of their operators. Used with hatred, they would destroy everything. Used with wisdom and compassion, they could do something else entirely. Working together through the shared consciousness network, the galactic teams began to understand the weapon's true purpose. Instead of destroying the devourer, they could use the builder's technology to reverse the transformation that had created it millions of years ago. It's possible, Kethara said, her excitement clicking through the translator. The builders included restoration protocols in their defensive systems. They always hoped their lost brothers could be saved. The devourer was now close enough for detailed scans. The archive's analysis revealed traces of the original builder's consciousness trapped within the creature's dark structure. They were still there, imprisoned by their own hunger, but capable of being freed. This is what the builders really wanted, Alex said. Not just to protect us from the devourers, but to use our cooperation to heal the wounds they couldn't heal themselves. As the defense grid reached full power, teams throughout the galaxy worked together to modify the weapons' targeting systems. Instead of destructive beams, they would fire restoration energy designed to separate the trapped consciousness from the consuming hunger that had twisted it. Beginning restoration sequence, Alex announced to the network. The weapons fired as one, sending waves of healing energy toward the approaching devourer. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then the dark creature began to change. The light-absorbing surface cracked and fell away, revealing something beautiful underneath. What emerged was a being of pure light and consciousness. one of the original. Builders finally freed from millions of years of torment. Through the archive's communication systems, it spoke to them. "Thank you," the voice said, somehow reaching every species in their own language. "We have been waiting so long for the galaxy to grow wise enough to heal us rather than destroy us." The restored builder shared its knowledge freely, adding vast amounts of information to the archive network. Technologies for healing planets, methods for peaceful contact with hostile species, ways to explore the universe without harming the life they found there. "This is what the archives were really for," Maya said in wonder. "Not just to preserve knowledge, but to teach us to work together well enough to heal the galaxy's oldest wounds." As the crisis passed, Alex found himself thinking about his simple repair job that had started everything. He had come to fix a generator and ended up helping to heal a wounded god and unify an entire galaxy. "So what happens now?" he asked. "Now we do what the builders always hoped we would do," Zara replied. "We explore the galaxy together, sharing knowledge and healing the damage left by old conflicts. The archive systems were already showing new possibilities. With the builders' restored knowledge and the galaxy's proven ability to cooperate, they could accomplish things that had seemed impossible just days before. Faster-than-light travel that didn't damage space-time, methods for communicating across galactic distances instantly, technologies for creating new worlds where different species could thrive together. Will you stay and help us explore these possibilities?" Lyra asked Alex. Alex looked around at his companions. A few days ago, he had been a simple engineer traveling from job to job. Now he was part of something larger than he had ever imagined. The galaxy was full of wonders waiting to be discovered, and he could help find them. "I think my next assignment just got a lot more interesting," he said. Through the archive's communication network, he could feel similar conversations happening throughout the galaxy. Teams of diverse species deciding to work together permanently, research stations transforming into cooperative exploration bases, and ancient knowledge combining with new ideas to create possibilities none of them could have achieved alone. The builders' greatest gift hadn't been their advanced technology or their vast libraries of knowledge. It had been their demonstration that different types of consciousness, working together with respect and understanding, could accomplish anything.